I just took one of the biggest risks we've ever taken in the business, and in this video we're going to see if it paid off. We just exhibited at one of the most prestigious rare book fairs in the world, and we paid for a large stand in a prime location. It cost us nearly every penny of available cash that we had to exhibit at this fair. So in this video we're going to go through all of those eye-watering costs and then relive the fair day by day, add up every single thing that we sold and see if we managed to make a profit and if this massive risk paid off. A few weeks ago, I became a member of the Antiquarian Booksellers Association, and immediately there was a decision I had to make quickly. Each year they run a few rare book fairs, events where rare book dealers like me from all over the world gather in a single place for a few days or a weekend and try and sell their books. And right when I joined, about a month or so ago, their main fair for the year, First London at the Saatchi Gallery in Chelsea, was only weeks away. It only happens once a year and is one of the best opportunities of the year for dealers to show off all of their best stock and hopefully meet some new collectors who want to buy it. I knew that I had to do the fair, but I needed to work out how. The cheapest option would be to have a small booth on the top floor of the gallery. Next would be to have a medium-sized booth in the middle floor of the gallery, and the most expensive option would be to have a large booth on the ground floor. I knew it would be a massive risk and a massive cost to the business, but I decided to go for it, take a large booth on the ground floor and hope that it paid off. So first, let's add up what this risk cost me. The biggest cost was the stand itself, which cost me a little under £12,000. But that wasn't my only cost. The fair took place over long days of both setup and exhibition time in central London. So we had to pay for meals and for accommodation. We also had to pay for travel and car parking, and most importantly of all, we had to pay a specialist courier to transport some of our most valuable books safely from our office here in Oxfordshire into central London. This added a little over £2,500 to our costs. So in total, the fair cost me £14,609.34 to do, and that really hurt, so I'd better make some sales. Luckily, I had a chance to get a head start on the fair. My good friend Reed Moon and his team were visiting the UK for the fair, and Reed wanted to see my books before anyone else did. So rather than wait until the fair opened and compete with other buyers, he came and saw me the day before. Reed has been a really important friend and mentor for me, and I'm sure you might have seen his videos online as well. And a little over a year ago, when he heard on the grapevine that I'd set up my own business, he happened to be in the UK visiting a book fair, and he just abandoned it. He left the fair, drove halfway across the country to see me and take me out for lunch and give me some advice. So it was really great. It's always really great to catch up with him. And of course, Reed has a great eye for books and manuscripts with history behind them. So what he bought on this trip was a beautifully illustrated edition of Poe, a massive framed 16th century manuscript leaf with an illumination of the Nativity, and also one of my favorite books that I've ever bought and sold, a copy of Malleus Maleficarum inscribed by Casanova. I think it's fair to count those sales in day one's tally for the fair, so we'll add them in a second, but first, the next morning, we got to the Saatchi Gallery bright and early to set up for the fair. Our stock was there waiting for us, and we had until 5 p.m. to turn this blank canvas into a spectacular display of rare books and manuscripts. And as a mainly online business, most people don't see us in person. It was really important for us to put our best foot forward and create a display that made an impact. We had a beautiful gallery wall with illuminated manuscript leaves and beautiful 19th century altarpieces. And then through the cabinets, we had first editions by popular authors, fine bindings, medieval manuscripts, and books with amazing provenance stories. And then at 5 p.m, the doors opened for preview night, and we waited nervously to see if we would make any sales. And luckily we did. We sold 2 beautiful Arundel Society altarpieces, one of Hans Memling's Passion and the other of Stefan Lochner's Adoration of the Magi. We also sold a limited edition of Lord of the Rings, 2 beautiful Bibles, a French Quran, a book bound for Pope Clement XIII, and a beautiful illuminated manuscript leaf with an illumination of the Pentecost. That was a flying start, and if we add up all of those sales, we come to a total of £32,940. Now that's a lot of money, but we have to remember that that is turnover, not profit. All of those items cost me a lot to buy in the first place, so we'll still have to have a really good next few days to make this fair a success. Day 2 was Friday and brought the promise of more sales, and luckily we got off to a good start. First thing in the morning, selling a beautiful French fine binding and another one of our manuscript leaves. We also met some lovely Tolkien collectors on Friday and sold 2 copies of The Road Goes Ever On and a first edition of Unfinished Tales. In the afternoon, I had to go up to the event space to speak on a panel, and afterwards we sold more books too. A copy of Runic Odes from the North Tongue from 1784, inscribed by the author, a French manuscript, a lovely copy of Leigh Hunt's Jar of Honey, and then right at the end of the day, literally minutes before the fair closed, we sold yet another one of those large framed illuminated manuscript leaves. This one was a 15th century antiphonal leaf with an illumination of St. Andrew. And that very busy second day added £5,596 to our tally. Early on day 3, we sold one of our royal bindings, this one bound with the arms of Mathilde Bonaparte. And this was really lovely because I actually sold it to a customer of mine in America who I'd corresponded with but never met before. But he happened to be in London and come to the fair. So more than just selling a book, it was really great to meet someone I knew virtually in person and have a good chat with them about books. We also sold on Saturday a beautiful set of the Iliad and the Odyssey, but those 2 sales were the only sales we made on Saturday, which meant that although it was a very busy day, we just add £635 to our total. Day 4 was Sunday and the final day of the book fair. Traditionally, Sunday is a quieter day. Most people have already visited the fair that want to come and buy, but we were in a position where we had to make more sales if this fair was going to be a success. We did sell a beautiful inscribed first edition of Donna Tartt's The Secret History, but for a long time it was looking like that was the only sale we were going to make that day. But then, right near the end of the day and the end of the book fair, we sold a valuable book, our first edition set of The Lord of the Rings. And after a couple of slightly less successful days, that gave us a final day total of £16,360. So after all the work preparing and 4 long days at the fair, did the risk pay off? And did we actually make a profit from the book fair? Day 1, we sold £32,940. Day 2, we sold £5,596. Day 3, we sold £635. And on the final day, we did £16,360. This gives us a total take for the 4 days of £55,531. But that's not the end of the story. From this, we need to deduct what the books cost us to buy in the first place, and all those costs earlier that I showed you of doing the fair itself. And when we do that, we're left with a total profit for the book fair of £5,540.05. As ever, this video isn't sponsored. It's made to hopefully entertain and educate you about what we do, but mainly to support my business where we help people like you acquire special individual books and also build meaningful collections of rare books and manuscripts. And as you've seen, this is an expensive business to run. So if you have enjoyed this video, then do visit my website, and whether you're interested in buying or selling rare books and manuscripts, get in touch and we'd be very happy to help.